One thing I do want to talk about is the psychoanalysis of cats, because Julianne Thorne is with us. She used to work as a civil servant, but she's quit the day job to work full-time as a cat whisperer. She has a remarkable ability to apparently emotionally connect with felines. Julianne, you're very welcome to Talk TV this lunchtime. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me, Peter. Really happy to be here. I'm good, thank you.
Well, Julianne, it's interesting because you say, and I totally believe you, that you're cat intuitive, and you say that by sitting down with a pet or even just looking at a photograph of an animal, you can pick up on the cat's emotions.
Yes, that's right. So it's kind of like when you tune a radio, I can find the frequency of the cat and connect with them, and I can feel what they're feeling, either in their body or emotionally.
Have you always had this ability?
Not that I was aware of. It happened a few years ago, and it was a bit of a surprise. It happened when I was walking around a zoo and connected with a cheetah, and she was grieving, and I burst into tears and could feel her grief. And it's led me on a journey to help cats in various ways. You can see from the pictures on the screen that I've also got into using herbs to help cats as well, and healing. There we go, prime picture.
How do you heal a cat? What do you do? Because you're not a vet.
No. So I'm a psychologist, and I'm also trained in Reiki and healing and self-selection. So I use a variety of tools and techniques to help cats. So that could be behavior modification, it could be essential oils, dried herbs, healing, cat communication. There is the logical behavior part, and there is also the spiritual, emotional part as well. So it's a holistic approach.
My goodness. Well, listen, I am fascinated by all of this, and I'm a big cat person. I have my rescue cat, Jack, but I mentioned this to two of my best friends who are also big cat people. I don't think that's a coincidence. And you say even by looking at a photograph that you can sense the cat's emotion. So I want to show you 3 photographs, if you don't mind, Julianne. One is of my cat and 2 of the other cats. So if we can start with Rosie, who's the tabby cat, who is my friend Yvette's cat, and I think we can put that up on the screen now. We're getting that put up. So Rosie is a rescue cat. I'll not tell you anything about Rosie, and maybe you can just tell me what your sense of Rosie is.
Okay, just give me a second, because I've got to drop out of my head and into my heart space. So just keep the picture there for just a moment.
We'll keep it up there. You
Lovely.
Take your time. So this is Julianne is just connecting with this photograph of Rosie. This is my friend Yvette's cat. It's a tabby cat, and she's just, if you're listening on Talk Radio rather than watching on Talk TV, she's just sitting down, just sort of fairly neutral expression on her face. But Julianne, how are you getting on?
Hey, so she's got a very beautiful energy, and she also feels like she can be a bit Jekyll and Hyde. So 1 minute she feels like she could be quite cuddly and affectionate, and then the next minute potentially a little unpredictable. So her behavior could be quite a quick change of behavior. I also feel like she's content most of the time in her environment, but she does have the tendency at times to withdraw a little. So that's what I've picked up in those few moments.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, sorry to put you on the spot. With 2 more, Julianne, do you mind? Is that okay?
Go for it.
Great. Well, let's put up the picture of Bubble here, who is a cat in Switzerland, believe it or not, with my friend Tasha. Tasha has 3 cats. So, Julianne, shall I talk for a minute and just give you a sec to kind of connect?
Is there any opportunity to zoom in so I can connect with the cat's eyes a little more? Is that possible? Sorry, tech people.
I'm afraid it's not. Apologies for that. I probably should have got you a better photograph for that.
That's okay.
Apologies.
You give me a minute, and you just give me a sec.
No worries. Shane has been in touch from Sydney. He says, "Hi Pete, I think Jack is great. I bet he's good company." And Shane, you're absolutely right. Jack is great. He is absolutely wonderful. And there are people being in touch with us about cats, and indeed about dinghies as well. Someone says some people don't understand irony or humour, too many overly serious people, says one texter, and one person also says if you build a tunnel between England and Northern Ireland, cats can go backwards and forwards, no problem. It's a no-brainer, this tunnel. I think that's something my cat would probably not want to do. I think he's probably fairly happy where he is. Julianne, how are you getting on with Bubble?
it took a little longer to make a connection, but I feel like there's a sense of in the solar plexus, which is an energy center around the tummy, there feels a slight imbalance. So I would be asking the guardian whether they have issues with his digestion, whether the cat is eating properly or has a tendency to vomit. And also the crown chakra, which is around the top of the head, that's how the cat is connected to their guardian. So they've got a very deep spiritual connection, I can feel from the picture.
Excellent. And what about his sort of personality and so on, and how he gets on? Have you picked up anything about that?
It's difficult to connect so in such a short space of time. And to be honest, my impressions go first to energy. My understanding of their personality is more around if I do a communication session, which is a bit of a clearer, closer picture. But
Wonderful.
yeah, the energy was beautiful.
Excellent. Well, I just want to have one more, if you don't mind. This is quite a good photo of Jack, my cat, who's a rescue cat, and that's him sitting on the sofa there in the sunshine. So I'll give you a couple of minutes just to connect with him. There's a few photographs there, and it was quite funny earlier. Actually, Phil, my producer, said, you know, have you got a photograph of Jack we could put up? No, let me open my phone and send you many photographs of Jack, who is, as many listeners to this program know, the apple of my eye, and my best mate as well. Jimmy in Uppingham has been in touch on text to say hi, Peter, regarding the colour. Tracy saying Boris, maybe party minister. I thought party organizer would be better. Says Jimmy in Uppingham there. But little bit of cynicism there. So thank you indeed for that. And perhaps while we give Julianne a little bit of a little bit more time to connect with Jack, I can thank today's team, which is Phil and Gabriella, who were producing. Mosaic was assisting. Jodie and Chris have been on Vision. Jose, we've been pressing the buttons. Thank you for filling in for Tech Up Dave there. He's got COVID, sadly. And Robbie has been on social media, so thank you to them. And let's reconnect now with our guest, with Julianne. Have you connected with Jack, Julianne, do you think?
Yes, I have. So he shared that you're both on a journey together. There are lessons that you're both learning, and he's quite a young soul. He shared with me that he likes the space that's around him. The energy feels nice, and the sofa that he was on, he finds it very grounding. So the green is related to the heart chakra, and that is where he's connected with you. So he feels very bonded with you, which is a very beautiful connection to have.
Well, thank you very much indeed. That's wonderful. I should say that Jack is a wonderful cat, and Julianne, this has been a fascinating interview. And he actually, we moved about a year and a half ago, and he's a lot happier where he is now than not that there's anything wrong with where we were before, but he just has a little bit more time. And actually, the owner of Rosie has got in touch to say, absolutely spot on. That is exactly what Rosie is like, but she's a tortoiseshell, not a tabby. She'll be affronted